Good morning. I am so excited. I woke up bright and early so I could film with the brand new Kathleen Lights X ColourPop So Jaded palette. I am so excited. I got this a few days ago, but just haven't really had time to sit down and play with it. But I'm really excited now I have the chance to do so. Here is the beautiful palette, all inspired by different gemstones. The palette is sold out right now, but it will be back. I don't know exactly when. The palette is $39. There's 30 shades in the palette, even a super shock shadow and 2 pressed glitter formulas, and then mattes and metallics as well. So everything in here. I'm just really quickly going to include some swatches. You can find these on Kathleen Light's channel, but I do film in natural light, so it might give you a little bit of a different idea of what the shades look like. So here is row 1. This is row 2, row 3, row 4, and row 5. So there's what all the shades look like. I am so excited to just dip into this and get going. This isn't necessarily like a review really, because I know how ColourPop shadows perform, and I think that you know if you've watched my channel that I really love the ColourPop shadows. Overall, I think that they are super pigmented, blend really well, and all the colors work well together. Like this color scheme already, I'm just like, there's so much that's wearable in here, and even the fun bright shades I feel like can be used in a wearable way as well. So I am really excited. I want to do something a little bit different today, but I don't know what, because there's too many options in here. I'm trying to look on my past videos and see kind of what colors I've been using recently, because I don't know where to go, but I don't want to do something that I've already kind of done a little bit of. So if there's any colors in here you want to see me playing around with, I would love to do more videos using this palette. But I think I want to go in like this bluey, purpley kind of route today. Maybe even kind of with this little fluorite shade right here. Oh, that's really purple actually. I did just do a purple look, so maybe I shouldn't do that. Should we do something really, really different and go in with the shade Peridot? Maybe we'll do that. Okay, I'm just gonna get started. At least we can go in with like some transition shades while I determine what look we want to do. I have already filled in my brows. I just used a brow powder, and I put on a little bit of this Pure 4-in-1 Love Your Selfie Longwear Foundation and Concealer to prime my eyelids. I did set that down with a little bit of powder. I didn't realize that we have this nice kind of creamy, matte, bone colored shade right here, but we can still pop it on and see how pigmented it is, right? Okay, so we're just gonna take my Precious, and I'm just going to use that to set down the primer. Again, I already did use powder because I didn't realize that was here. But that way you can see that it still does brighten up the lids. So you could use this to set down your eyeshadow primer, or you could use this to brighten up the lid space or add a little bit of a matte inner corner highlight. Lots of options with that shade. Okay, whoa, I am such a spaz. Put this all over my sweatshirt. Gosh dang it. I am a total disaster right now. Okay, you know what I should do? I should put one of those pop sockets on the back of my palette so that I can hold it up with one hand without dropping it, because this is too big to hold on to. Starting with our transition colors, I'm gonna go into this Royal Jewels shade right here. This is a nice kind of neutrally transition, but it's really a lighter matte color, which I love. I feel like you always have to start out with something that's a little bit lighter. This is just going to give us a really nice, effortless blend when we go into some of the more pigmented and colorful shades. We're just doing a nice light wash of that. I was going to say we should go into Rose Quartz, this nice kind of stone brown transition, but I think since we're going to go in with this green, I'm pretty sure we should go in with Geodude, which is a little bit, it's still kind of a brown, it just has more of a green undertone. So I think it'll be fun in the crease. But I've never used a green like this before, and especially not in my crease, so we'll see how it translates. I actually like that so far. It's kind of subtle. It's not like super, super green. It's still pretty brown, which is nice. Just adding a little bit more of that, kind of intensifying the color a little bit. Looks good. Mostly just brown, huh? Oh well. Now I want to add in some of this yellow kind of mustardy color called Citrine. Just gonna place this sort of on top of what we just did, just to bring in a little bit more of a warm yellow tone. I feel like that really added a lot. It's really pretty. I was just sitting here blending and I was thinking, I feel like I always kind of do the same looks. Like I do a couple transition shades, a dark shade here, and then your bright kind of shimmery shade on the inner portion of the lid, which is kind of what I was gonna do today, but I feel like we could kind of take it in a little bit more of a halo eye direction, and that might be kind of fun. So I feel like with that in mind, we should probably take this shade right here called Jade. It's a nice green transition, or just matte color, not really transition shade. And I'm going to pack this on the inner and outer corners of the eye. I did hear in one video that this shade does take a little bit of work to blend out, and I do feel like that could be true. So what I'm gonna do is really just pack the color on, just press it into the skin first to get it to a good like intensity that I want it, and then just slowly kind of almost scratch away at the edges. I feel like that'll give us the easiest time kind of blending. And then we can always come back and sort of intensify that color at the end once we have that lid shade on. So I'm not too worried about like perfect opacity right now. And then once I've got those colors on there and the edges sort of blended out, I'm going to just drag any excess color kind of through the crease just slightly to connect the outer corner and the inner corner shades. And I actually feel like that blended out pretty good. I didn't have a lot of troubles. I feel like we could go back in and kind of fix some of the patchiness in those, like in this area, but overall I don't feel like it was that difficult. Then we're gonna take Peridot on the lid. I am just gonna use my fingertip because that's always the way that I do this. So we'll just go in with that on my fingertip and press that into the lid. Oh my gosh, this is the coolest color. Oh, wow. Taking a clean finger just to kind of buff out the edges so that we've got a little bit of a gradient there. What? That's so cool. Okay, I really like this a lot more than I thought I was going to. Oh my goodness. Okay. I'm like really amazed. I don't know why I felt like it was gonna be like so crazy and bright, but I feel like, I don't know, is it kind of wearable? Am I crazy? I love the way that that looks. Of course, since I have a little bit of like extra hooded eyes, I feel like you can't really see it when I'm looking straight forward. When I just tilt my head like this, it looks so good. Now that that lid shade is on there, I do want to sort of frame it a little bit more, going in with these, the Geodude shade and then Jade as well. Also, this brush right here is really, really good if you need something detailed for like a dark color. This is just the e.l.f. crease brush, but it's like really small and works just right where you want it really, really well. I'm just gonna keep packing that green color onto the inner and outer corners, trying to kind of fill in any little gaps, and then connecting that again up into the crease a little bit. I do have just this little spot right here that doesn't want to do anything. You know what's weird though? My eyeshadow base, like my foundation didn't want to stick right there either. So I wonder if it has something to do with just my eyeballs today. I don't know. You ever have those days where you're like, usually things blend out perfect, and then all of a sudden just like one random day you can't get anything to work? I get that a lot with like concealers. Like some days I'm like, oh, this concealer is so perfect for my eyes or my under eyes or whatever. And then all of a sudden I feel like it looks like crap. And I'm like, what the heck? Okay, I'm just going back in over top of this shade right here to further intensify it, of course. Okay, I really, really want to use this diamond shade, but I just feel like it's not going to go over top of fluorite very well, so I'm not going to use that today. But if you want to see me use that in another video, just go ahead and thumbs this up or leave me a comment or let me know again like what other shades you want to see me use from this cute little palette. I think what I'm going to do now is take the shade Jade, that dark kind of green shade we were using, and just stamp this along the lower lash line. I'm going all the way from outer to inner corner with this. And then I'm going to buff that sort of lighter browny green color called Geodude to kind of blend that out and connect it to the upper lash line. Really, really like this color. I like that it has that green undertone, but it doesn't really come off like super green when you have it on. I think I'm gonna try and use just like my little finger and pick up that Peridot shade. And with Peridot, I'm just going to try to kind of recreate what we did on the top lash line just underneath. This is tricky. I've never really done this, and maybe it'll look bad. I don't know. I did get it everywhere, but we'll clean that up with a makeup wipe. I look like a clown now. We'll take Geodude again and kind of buff over that. Kind of tone it down, maybe just completely cover it up. I haven't decided yet because I don't think I like the way that looks. Yeah, that wasn't my wisest decision. You know what? I'm just gonna wipe off the lower lash line and redo what we had on before I made that dumb mistake of putting that shimmer under my eye. Okay, we are back to normal. It's looking all right. I'm gonna do my face makeup in a minute and we'll kind of see where we're at with the eyes. But I'm gonna use this shade Pearl to highlight the inner corner. Oh, that's pretty. I like that. I think that's all we're gonna do on the eyes today with this palette. So I think what I'm gonna do is just finish up the rest of my makeup and then I'll come back and talk you through what I used, and yeah, we'll be all set. Okay, everybody, I finished up my look. Got a little crazy with the eyelashes. Let me just talk you through everything that I used so you know. So finishing up the eyes, I just put on a little bit of the Thrive mascara, just like one coat, because I did go in with the Ardell. I think these are the Demi Wispies. The number is 811. Yeah, I wanted something kind of light, but I needed like a little bit of a lash, I think. It's not like the shape I would prefer with this look. I wish I had something that wasn't so full here and maybe a little more full in the center, but I think it looks pretty good. Then I just touched up my brows with a little bit of the brow powder and used the Glossier Boy Brow to set them in place. For the skin, I went in with the Catrice HD Liquid Coverage Foundation and finished up my concealer with that Pure 4-in-1 foundation and concealer stuff. I set the skin with the Glossier Powder, as I've been doing for forever now. I love that powder. And I used my Thrive bronzer to bronze up my face. For blush, this Color Icon blush from Wet n Wild in Mellow Wine really complements this look really well. Because it's a little bit more like warm toned, so I put that on and I think it looks really, really good. I didn't do any highlighter because I didn't want the look to get like crazy over the top in every area of my face, so I left the eyes a little bit more bold and the skin's a little more muted. I feel like that was a good kind of balance, so no highlighter today. And then for lips, I put on this Milani, what is this? Milani Bold Matte Lipstick in 03 I Am Awesome. It's a really kind of bright peachy nude. I usually can't wear these on their own, so I did go in with the LA Girl liner on top, like around the edges. This is in Keep It Spicy. Then I still was a little bit unhappy with like the shade, plus my lips are really dry, so I felt like a gloss might look a little bit better. So I went in with the Kathleen ColourPop Moonchild Gloss. And I love this. I feel like it tops off everything so well. Oh, my eyelash is poking me in the eye. Oh, the last thing. The only thing I have to do now is just re-intensify my inner corner. So I'm just going into Pearl and just popping that in because when I put on my concealer, I sort of covered it up. So, not okay with that. There you have it. My first look using the So Jaded palette from Kathleen. I think this is so fun and so pretty. I can definitely do something a little bit more wearable or dig into some of these still like more unique shades. Like these blues, I'm loving this kind of more metallic ruby tone. These purples are so pretty. I think all these shades are fantastic. So if there's anything you want to see in particular, let me know. I'm gonna definitely be playing around more with this because I feel like there's just, again, so much you can do with it. So that is it for me. Thank you so much for watching. I love this palette. If you're thinking about getting it, you should get it. If you've got it, let me know what colors you've been loving. And yeah, thanks so much for being here. I'll see you next time.